Today we have Captain John and Chef Hannah on Power Catamaran Hülya, based in the Bahamas. We discuss their love of getting hammered, expeditions, and Winston. This is Stephanie Lowry, and you're listening to the Songs in the Sails podcast. I'm just going to skip straight to you guys. I would love to know more about you. So tell me, you're currently chartering the Bahamas, and you had mentioned that you did USVI. So do you charter just in the Bahamas and BVIs, or do you do that every season, or what are your plans?
Yeah, so when we bought the boat, so we're owner operators, we bought the boat in July. She came with a handful of charters in the USVI, so we figured it would probably be a good idea to
do those.
take those and do them. And it also gave us a little bit better of a deal on the boat with the sail and things like that. We decided it'd be a good opportunity to also go down, go to the boat show and meet all the brokers in the USVI, everybody we'd be working with. We worked for Charter Creep for 3 years previously. We had an idea, but we just never met anybody face to face. And stepping into an owner operator role, we thought it was a really good idea to reintroduce ourselves into the industry. Yeah. So we did all that. We competed. We did all the fun stuff. And then we made the decision to move back into the Bahamas at the end of our New Year's charter. Our hearts were missing the Bahamas a lot. We were really longing to get back. We were supposed to stay till February, but the Bahamas was calling. We couldn't stay away. So we decided to head back a little bit early. We had the boat brought back. And now we're back here in the Bahamas, and we'll be fully based here for at least, I'd say, the next 3 to 4 years, and maybe a little French Polynesia action down the line.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. How did you guys get started in this industry? And what did you do before?
It's super funny. So I've always been, not always, but I've been a boat captain for since 2016, 2015. Got my captain's license when I was living out in Hawaii and was doing like dive boat stuff out there, and then came back and moved to Florida, and I was captaining privately for people and also doing dive charters and stuff. And then it's a pretty long story, but Hannah and I ended up meeting, and actually when we first met or got to like really know each other was here in Bimini, where we're at right now. And I had already been heavy into photography then. I'd been into photography since before I was a boat captain, and kind of found my niche underwater, and that kind of started it all. And I just built a life around being underwater, and obviously that leads to boating. And Hannah hired me on as a photographer for her bikini company, and then we ended up coming out to the Bahamas, to Bimini, which was supposed to be a 4-day trip, but that's when the world shut down because of COVID. And we stayed here in the Bahamas for almost 2 months, and just obviously every day being together and hanging out. We were still only friends then, and we both went back to Florida, and I was running expeditions at the time as well.
Okay.
And I saw how good Hannah was with putting stuff together, and I'm like to have fun. I make a lot of friends. I have a lot of connections through photography and diving, and I asked her to be a part of those expeditions, and we orchestrate everything, and we built all that. And then that ended up leading into a gentleman that we met, and we were taking him on expeditions. And then one day he just asked us what our dreams and aspirations were, and where we saw ourselves later years down the road. And we had mentioned we'd love to do something like a passion project on a boat, but also charter to make revenue in order to fuel that passion project. And he was like, it's always been a dream of mine to own a boat. What if I could help you guys do that sooner rather than later? We were like, yeah, at the time, we had just met this guy, knew him for maybe 6 months or whatever. And I was like, he's a great guy, always super good to us, but buying a boat is a big deal for someone else. And literally a month later, he's sending us all these listings, and still even then, I'm like, this guy's full of it. It's not going to happen. And then we went to a lagoon boat show that was just after COVID, but they weren't having boat shows or anything. So it's like a product deal. And we stepped onto a 50 lagoon, and we all looked at each other and were like, dang, this is the boat. And literally like the following week, he had put a down payment on this boat. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so we capped him for 3 years, and he was awesome guy, let us learn the Bahamas. And yeah, we obviously want to be here where we are without him in the charter industry and
Right.
also knowing the Bahamas like we do. And yeah, things just progressed and we saw this boat come on the market and crunched the numbers and we were able to make it happen. Yeah.
That's a cool story.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask if we made part of it up, but it's all 100% true.
Yeah. It's been a wild ride and there's much more to it, but
Yeah.
don't want to sit here for an hour telling the story.
I do get it. Those are like once in a lifetime opportunities. Like we are very familiar. My husband is in the music industry, so he's an
Okay.
artist, singer-songwriter. So we've toured all over, met a lot of amazing people and had some amazing opportunities along the way from very generous people. So totally. Not everybody gets it. They're like, no, nobody would ever do that. But there are people that will do that.
There are. There definitely are.
And they're the kind of people that just keep giving and keep giving.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Despite us moving on, and his boat's actually in St. Thomas, and he's running charters full steam ahead, and we still talk to this day. So
He actually ended
Yeah.
up getting his like ASA license and he's covered by his insurance now. Like he got all the certs and time and hours. He texts us, he's like, "Can I be your all's third? Like I need some time. I'll do whatever I can for sea time." And we're like, that might be
That would be a
that'd
little
be
much.
extreme funny. But yeah, he's really awesome. And it's really cool to now see him captain his own boat with his family. And like when
Right.
he first bought the boat, that was his original dream, was like to take it
Right.
off by himself for a week. And I think if it wasn't for us stepping away from him, he would have never done that because
Yeah.
he just leaned on us. So it's really cool
Right.
to see him accomplish that part of his dream too.
So you have your swimsuit company, but how did you get started in that? Have you always been with the water or living near the water, or how did you get started?
So I grew up riding horses pretty
Okay.
much my entire life, but my dad also had a sport fish, he had a yacht, kind of sold boats every couple years and bought something new and was always looking for something different and something fun, but his heart was in the sport fishing industry. So spent a lot of time in the Bahamas on his boat, Bermuda, went to all the sport fishing tournaments. I have more photos of me with marlin and dead fish than I probably have baby photos. Sums it up in a nutshell. And as I got older, I started riding more, and that became the highlight of my life. And one day I woke up and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Told my dad it was time to sell all the horses. And immediately after I sold the horses, I don't know what it was, but something drew me back to the ocean. And after that, I got my scuba certification and never looked back and realized full circle, my life's going full circle and coming back to where my life was brought up by the ocean. It just feels right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really neat. Okay. So what does your day look like as a captain and a chef?
hectic. No.
Yeah.
I think our day to day obviously differs if
Right.
whether we're on charter or if we're off charter. There's always something to be done on boat. We haven't been or on the boat. We haven't been on charter for about a month now. And every day we're working on the boat. There's just
Right. Always something to do. Yeah.
something going on, but we do my whole thing with anything I've ever done, and even before I got into the chartering thing, is always don't overexert yourself because then you lose the passion. If you're just grinding, you're not going to love what you're doing, and especially in our industry, people can see that. If
You
you're
get
not
burned out. It
yeah, if you're
shows.
burned out and you're not happy, then everyone else is going to be able to see it. So yeah, our day to day is it just yeah, if we're not on charter, we're fixing something on the boat or just making the boat nicer in ways that we see we can. And then obviously having fun. We do a lot of diving, and Hannah's new favorite thing is we have some e-foils. So she's become a huge fan of the e-foils,
Yeah.
doing some foiling and stuff like that. And then charter, it's just waking up in the morning and Hannah's making breakfast and I'm preparing the boat to get everybody out on the water and have fun. We're huge with people getting out in the water and teaching everybody about either sea life. That's why we love the Bahamas. There's tons of sea life here.
Right.
If it's not sharks, there's fish, stingrays. So yeah, it's just having fun, really.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. What is your favorite chartering destination? I'm feeling like it might be the Bahamas, but I could be wrong. I know you mentioned that when you are off season, you do all kinds of expeditions. So maybe it's somewhere else. What is your favorite?
I'll say probably not necessarily like a destination we've taken our boat, but probably my favorite destination we've been, and hopefully a future destination for us to charter in, was Tonga and the French Polynesian Islands. We spent some time in Fiji as well, and I absolutely fell in love with it over there. It is a whole new
Stunning.
world underwater. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I was a fish underwater. You couldn't get me out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would probably say the same. We've set that as 4 or 5 year goal to actually get the boat over there and charter. Right now, obviously we love the Bahamas, and I feel like we could spend the rest of our lives in the Bahamas and not hit all the islands out here and the little honey holes, because the Bahamas are massive, and a lot of
Yeah.
people don't realize how big the Bahamas are until you're
Right.
actually here. Yeah, right now I'd say we're pretty happy being here. I can definitely see us moving on to
Moving around.
the other side of the world in the
One
future.
extreme of island chains to another extreme of island chains. Can't keep it
Right,
simple.
right. Right. All right. What is your favorite meal to make?
Ooh, okay. This one's pretty easy for me. It's actually John's favorite meal from living in Hawaii for almost 10 years. His favorite meal is chicken katsu,
Okay.
with a side of mac salad and what's the other thing? White rice.
Yeah.
So I make it every charter, and somehow, one, it's my favorite thing to make because it ends up being everybody's favorite, from like little kids to the adults. So it's
Right.
basically just fried chicken over white rice with mac salad, but the key is the sauce, and it's like a mix of like ketchup, barbecue sauce, Worcestershire sauce, and a few other ingredients, but the sauce is what makes the whole dish, and it's absolutely delicious if you've never had it.
So is that mac sauce that you're talking about? Or is that
I
She serves it with mac salad, but
okay.
the sauce that goes on the chicken is like a Japanese barbecue sauce.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
she makes her own, and
Yeah.
it's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
It's funny.
We're
I would always in Hawaii, I eat it a lot, and it comes with the mac salad. Anywhere you order it, it will come with mac salad and white rice. But you can still get it chicken katsu in Florida, where we live or where our house is. You can still get it with the good sauce, but they don't serve it like that. So I was literally like having to piece together everything, and
yeah,
then Hannah started making it one day, and yeah, she's doing a pretty good job.
very
but
good.
it ends up being like clean plate club all the way every time I make the meal.
Hey, that's a good thing.
It's
I feel like
staple.
it's
And everybody.
winning. You're always winning when you have no one adds salt and no one adds any extra sauces. If they just eat it the way you made it, then you know you're good. I get like my kids, I'm in a house full of boys. So when they start adding things, I'm like, all right, what wasn't good about it? Just tell me. Like, oh, Levi's showing me a picture of it. Wow, that looks really good.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I love to cook too, but I actually cook a lot of Korean food. So I'll take like gochujang and make different sauces and stuff. So I'll have to give that a try.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super easy. It's just one of those comfort meals after a long day on the water. It's just
Yeah.
really filling and hits in every spot the right way and sets
Right.
you up perfectly for dessert.
The trick is how I like mine is I like over fry it to where it's
Yes.
a little bit
Crispy.
crunchy. Like,
Yeah.
crispy. I
Yeah.
love it.
That's how I do my bacon too. Not everybody likes it like that, but I
Crispy
have to have a
bacon.
crispy bacon. Yeah. Not all of it has to be super crispy, but parts of it.
Oh, most people bacon.
Right. No. All right. So let's keep going. What is your favorite dive or snorkel spot in the Bahamas?
Gosh, it all depends. If you're talking about wildlife, we're here in Bimini right now. It's hammerhead season, so this season's been incredible. We come here every season, and I haven't had a season, or we haven't had a season like this since 2019. All the big sharks are back here.
Wow.
So you have these great hammerheads, and right now there's been like 6 great hammerheads and either 2 to 3 tiger sharks on one dive,
Wow.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
There's no other place like it that you can dive with these kind of apex predators on the planet. You're in 20 feet of water with bright white sand.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. And then other than that, I would say my next favorite place to dive would be probably Spanish Wells, which is Spanish Wells is near Eleuthera. It's a small island there. So you have Spanish Wells, Eleuthera, and then Harbor Island. and they have this stretch of reef called the Devil's Backbone, and the Devil's Backbone sits in about anywhere from 40 to 60 feet of water, and you just have these big, huge reefs that literally go all the way from the bottom and they'll break the surface. That's why they call it Devil's
Wow.
Backbone. And it's a little tricky if you've never been there to get in and out, but
What makes it tricky? The boat itself or when you're in the water? Is
uh
there like a
yeah,
drift?
just getting the boat in there and
Okay.
anchor in the right spot. And you actually have to go through the backbone if you want to go through to Harbor Island. A lot of people hire
Mm.
pilots to get them through there.
Okay.
But it's if you ever get a chance to go, it's incredible.
The cut through the reef is basically like just big enough for the biggest boats to get through, where
Hmm.
you've got 5 feet on either side for wide catamarans, and you're straight through the middle of this channel, and it's just reef wall on either side. So it's
Wow.
room for error in places like that. But
Yeah, and the only way that you can get that many years ago, they blew a hole through that reef with dynamite. That's the only way that you can get in
Wow.
and out of it. So it's pretty cool.
That sounds really cool. What about you? What is your favorite dive spot or snorkel?
he nailed it on the head.
You did, yeah.
It's the exact same places. The hammerheads here and the reef walls and Spanish walls on the backbone. There's no two other places I think that compare in the world to places like this.
Yeah.
There's a spot for sharks called Tiger Beach that not too many people go to because it's 30 miles offshore. There's no land around, but another spot where I've dove out there with up to 14 tiger sharks. It's just
Wow.
it's a pretty amazing spot, but it's
Yeah.
be dicey with weather.
I am a stalker of Shark Week. Make myself sound like I'm a stalker. I'm really not like a creepy stalker. I just really like things and then I get obsessed and then I go down this rabbit hole, right? But Shark Week's my favorite. Like I love it every year. And we're usually on vacation when it comes on. And I've seen a lot of things because they do a lot of footage in the Bahamas.
Yeah, and most of
At
that
Tiger Beach, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
I would love to go in real life though.
Oh, it's such a cool spot.
Yeah.
I mean, not only the tiger sharks, you get hammerheads out there as well, but you get, I'd say probably anywhere upwards to 50, if not more, reef sharks and lemon sharks too. So
Wow.
there's sharks everywhere. And then you get
Yeah.
these big, massive black groupers that are swimming around, and it's
What?
super funny to see them because they'll out there in the Bahamas, they do a lot of baited dives. You have these big black groupers that sit right in front of the bait crate, and then you have a 16-foot tiger shark that's swimming up, and the black grouper is like, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
That is funny. How rare is it to see great hammerheads in general?
Right now, they're literally like 300 yards away from us. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how close the dive site is here. But you actually, if you're not baiting for them and you're not spearfishing, it's pretty rare. Now we've seen them in anchorages where we know they're anchorages where no one else is around and it's far off the beaten path. We'll throw some bait in or something just to see what comes up, and we've had great hammerheads come up, but never, like, we would never do something like that in a populated anchorage or anything, just
Right.
because we don't want something bad to happen. But
Of course.
pretty rare to have a shark actually come and hang out with you here. Most of the time they're just swimming through, and if they see you, they're more scared of you than you are of
Right.
them. So they'll swim by, and as soon as they see you, they're like, yeah, I'm out of here.
All right. Favorite activity on charter? I'm thinking it's like diving.
I love diving. Normally on charter, I don't really make it out of the galley. I'm always cooking, but I think one of my favorite things is at the end of the day, if guests go off to eat dinner on shore, I always try to make a dessert or something so that way when they come back, there's like a sweet treat or something on the counter for the middle of the night when they get a little hungry or something. So I think one of my favorite things is like coming up with totally random cookie recipes, like just like looking in the pantry and seeing what I have and what I could put into a cookie and like trying to make something that tastes good. And then actually working out and that experiment being really yummy.
Yeah.
A lot of times I've had to throw them out, but they end up being really good most of the time. But
it sounds like kitchen sink cookies, right? Is it like that where you just throw whatever you have and then it Yeah.
Most
I
of the time
love
it
doing
comes out pretty good.
Yeah, I love experimenting and doing stuff like that, especially on charter and getting out of my element and seeing people's reaction. And then they ask me, like, was this planned? I'm like, nope, totally just pulled that one out of my butt, but hope you like it.
That's cool. Now, have you had some culinary training or
I,
are you self-taught?
I'm self-taught.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, what's your favorite charter activity? Sorry, I went side.
My favorite, it probably sounds bad. For me personally, I love watching people on the e-foils because
Yeah.
they always bust their butts. So it's a good show, but yeah, I think people being out on the e-foil and watching, obviously a lot of people have an e-foil. I teach them and it's a pretty good feeling seeing someone be able to get up on one of those after you teach them because it's not an easy task and them having fun. And another thing is the water scooters. We have water scooters on the boat
Yeah.
and actually Hannah and I, sometimes we always do, but we wish we didn't have to give them up to guests because we have just as much fun on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, yeah, water activities. And I feel like we're not even mentioning coral, but the guests love coral, our pup. And I think
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest things too. It's just taking them on the beach and watching kids interact with coral. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good time.
That's awesome.
Say hi.
This is Coral. She's making her way up. She's bummed because it's super windy
Oh,
today and she's not getting.
hi.
She's
Hello.
every favorite on charters.
She's really pretty.
Good sea pup for sure.
And she stays on full time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we like to say this is her boat over ours.
Yeah. She's family.
Yeah.
What is your favorite charter memory?
Marty.
Yeah, we have a guest. He's actually the family's kind of became friends at this point. But yeah, they're always a super good time and lots of laughs. That I think as far as memories go, Marty had this bad habit of always falling in the water at the least opportune.
Opportune time.
Yeah.
First two times he did it, he went ahead and blamed it on me. Go. He went ahead and blamed it on me. I wasn't even there. The first time I wasn't there, second time I was there, and then the third time I wasn't there. All three times he blamed it on me, none of which were my fault. And at the end of it, he ended up like falling off a dock, and there was a Bahamian local watching him. And it's like 11 o'clock. He's sitting on the dock drinking
They
a
were
beer.
flying out. They were flying it out in like about an hour. We were in Staniel, so you can literally like show up for your flight 10 minutes before you need to.
John was with him. So
But yeah, I go to drop them off at this dock and they were doing some last minute like souvenir shopping and I take them to a local dock, but they also clean fish at this dock, so it can be slippery and I warned them about it and
Oh no.
everybody else got off the boat perfectly fine. Marty is the last one to get off. And man, what do you know? He slips. And this is like the third time of him falling in the water and he catches himself on the dock like this. And he looks back at me and he goes, "You gotta be shitting me." Falls in the water, loses his flip-flops, loses his hat. I get those. And the Bahamian sitting there, it's like Hannah said, I think it was actually earlier than that. I think it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. The Bahamian's already has a click in his hand and he goes, "Shit happens, man."
So the family goes and walks on island. John gets Marty, puts him back in the dinghy, and drives him back to the boat. And our third texts me, and she goes, "Marty fell in again. Just a heads up, he's pissed."
Yeah.
And John comes back. He gives me an okay because I see there's two people. So I was like, "Ooh," and
Yeah.
he gives me an okay, and I was like, "Okay, they're fine." And then I hear an audible laugh, and it's John like roaring laughing at Marty, who's sitting there with a scowl on his face. "I'm gonna kill you guys. I hate you. Stop. Why are you laughing at me?" And John's laughing so hard he can barely pull the dinghy up to the boat. And I wanted to play it cool, like I didn't already know what happened. So they pull up. I go, "Marty, what happened? A little wet. Did you fall in the water again?" It's like, "You blame me this time." And he was so mad.
That's
But, yeah,
amazing.
so they've actually become like family. They when we bought the boat, they came out and they live in California, flew all the way out to Florida and came to like our ceremony for the boat. And so yeah, they're good people. We have tons of great memories. One of the I guess not so much laughing at memory.
Yes. Is this your craziest guest story or?
No, we've had
Oh,
some.
you have another one of those. Okay. So,
I think a highlight of many of the trips is we're big into wildlife and big into sharks. And we've been very lucky in the aspect of we've gotten a lot of families with children and stuff. And just introducing kids and adults to sharks and stuff like
Right.
that. Having the
Yeah.
platform on the boat makes it really easy for people that obviously have a little bit of fear. No one never has a fear of sharks. Everybody's watched Jaws and everybody's a little
Right.
standoffish for sharks or towards sharks. And being able to break people in slowly, a lot of guests we've went from them holding on to the edge, sticking their face in the water with sharks to by the end of the trip, they're in the water swimming around with them, which I think
Right.
is really cool because that when it comes to Julia, she's our passion project. We don't
Right.
only use her for chartering. This is a platform for us to teach people about the ocean and conservation and sustainability.
Right.
So being able to just do our part and show people that sharks aren't these crazy, vicious, man-eating creatures of the sea is pretty good feeling.
Are the expeditions part of that?
Yes, we run two different things. So we have
Right.
on the boat, we have our normal charters. And then if we get a group of clients that want to just solely do like expedition based style trips where we're just nonstop diving and stuff like that, that's like the expedition side of things.
Right.
We have a compressor on the boat. We have scuba tanks. We have,
Right.
extra
All the
scuba
things.
gear, all that stuff. Yeah, we do run expeditions off the boat, and we also, teach people about photography during those expeditions, and we bring on local shark feeders. That's our way. I can
Hmm.
do it. I like to be able to film and stuff like that. I was a shark feeder, gosh, before I became a boat captain. So I've been feeding sharks for a while, but now I kind of step aside, and not only is it, like I was saying, is it our way of giving back and being able to bring on a local and give them a little extra change in their pocket. It gives us the opportunity to, I don't know, get in and have some fun ourselves and
Right.
also capture memories of our guests. So
That's really cool. What is interesting and unique about you as a crew? Do you think it's the expeditions or is it something else?
I think it comes down to a lot of the reviews we've left or we've had left. I think a common theme in all our reviews is that our guests always feel the love that we put out on our boat.
Yeah.
Everything we do on this boat is done with our love of the ocean and the planet and of each other. So I think
Right.
in that sense, I think a lot of guests really feel that. And that's what makes our experience and coming with us so special and so unique is just we invite you into our home. We make it your home. This is a part that you become part of our family. And this is also your home now when you step
Right.
on. And I think
Very good.
that's something special.
I think along with that, obviously we're active on social media and we just put everything out there, which kind of, knock on wood, we've had wild clients, but the wild clients that we've had, yeah, they stay up till who knows what time hanging partying, but they're also like great friends of ours now. And
Right.
I think from being active on social media and just putting ourselves out there, what is what you get. We're not
Yeah.
going to act any differently if you come on charter with us. And it's brought us the kind of clientele that we like to
Right.
have. Yeah, it's been awesome. It's funny because we get a lot of questions asked from other charter crews. Oh, have you guys ever had like horrible guests or anything like that? And
Yeah.
luckily, we honestly, we haven't. Yeah.
You're very
Well,
lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
We like to say that Coral, our dog, is a really good, like, just
Buffer.
a buffer and a filtration. If people don't like
Mhm.
dogs, they're not going to book with us. And
Right.
anybody who likes dogs is probably a good person.
All right. So what is your craziest guest story? Or if you don't have a craziest guest, what's your craziest broker story?
I don't even think we have. I would say probably the craziest story is Anna.
I don't think that's appropriate to talk about.
No, just our
Uh,
whole trip, and they were all.
I think Brett with the loggerhead.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
So we had this group of guests that at the time they were our friends, but this trip like solidified the friendship. But yeah, they were a wild group. They barely ever slept. They own a clothing company, and it's just this like wild and crazy clothing company, but they're all like wholesome people from California. And they would stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning and then turn around and be up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, jumping in the water.
Wow.
They were just like nonstop. But anyways, one night we were at an anchorage actually in the Exumas, and at this anchorage, we've always, every night, I don't know if it's our underwater lights or what, but we've had this. I'm also friends with the park rangers out there, and I've asked them about this turtle, and it's a turtle that they've actually seen too, but it's a loggerhead, this massive loggerhead, and comes up to our boat every night that we're there. And we are out there, and gosh, what do we name the log?
Winston.
Winston. Yeah, we named the loggerhead Winston. And I'm like, guys, you guys have to come check out Winston. He's on the back of the boat. And we have a group, I think it was 6 people. And we're on the back of the boat, and Winston's coming up to the back of the boat. His head's literally like this
Wow.
big, this massive loggerhead. And yeah, one of the guests, Brett, man, can I get in the water with him? And I'm like, I'm gonna say no, because I know loggerheads they've actually been known to mate with humans. They'll like cling on your back and then nip at your head.
Yeah.
This was a male loggerhead,
Oh my God.
male
Okay.
loggerhead. And
I was like, here, sign another waiver.
yeah, I'm gonna say no, but do what you want to do. And I didn't think he was gonna get in. And the next thing I know, I hear a splash. He's in the water. And
Oh,
this loggerhead was right underneath me, beneath the swim step, and I see this loggerhead turn his head, and he's locked on with Brett, and Brett locked on with him. And
oh no.
I've never seen a grown man swim so fast. Like, he jumped out of the water and landed in my lap. But during all the commotion, Coral's back there. She's super excited. She falls in the water. And
Oh
then
no.
our buddy Jason, he has kids, so he just went in full dad mode and just strong armed her, because I have Brett in my lap, and Jason pulls Coral out of the water. But that was probably one of the funniest and most, I guess, eventful things that have happened. We had a guest almost get mounted by a loggerhead. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Another short one. We had the Dillard department store family on board, and
Yeah.
John took them out to go see the pigs
Oh,
on
gosh.
Daniel.
Yeah.
They're Southern as can be, Southern bells, proper, and no cursing. Never even heard the word Jesus come out of these people's mouths.
Yeah.
And John took them to go see the pigs, and he warned them, like, don't turn your back.
The entire trip, they kept on talking about wanting to go see the pigs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, the pigs are amazing. Everybody wants to go see the pigs. It's super cool. You don't see pigs on a beach too often, but they
Right.
can get a little bitey. And I
Yeah.
was like, guys, I'm warning you, you don't turn your back towards these pigs. I told him this all week long. And then I'll let you finish.
He takes them there, and I guess the oldest daughter saw it happening and just let it happen. But one of the pigs bit the mom on the butt.
Oh
And
no.
I guess she screamed. What'd she say?
She goes, oh, mother. Like, and everybody's quiet and no one wants to say anything. And I'm trying not to laugh because I knew that this was going to happen. And we get back to the boat, and I was like, I knew that it really hurt the second I heard a curse word come out of your mouth, because I
Yeah.
never, like, during the entire trip, not one curse word, not even anything close to a curse word came out of these people's mouth. And when she said that, I was like, yep, it got her good.
When
Yep.
this was their
Yes.
last day, they get home the next day, she sends me this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got her good.
Oh, it got her good.
And then this is the
Oh.
next photo she sends me.
Oh my God.
She's the teeth mark line right up. Look at it.
Like, I love
We
getting
tried to
photos
tell
of
you.
my butts in the afternoon. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we've got a lot. We probably could keep going and going.
I bet. They make for good conversation or just
Oh yeah.
hangout sessions. Yeah.
Oh, and most of our guests become very good friends and family. So we
Right.
still laugh about that to this day with them. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah. We'll omit the names, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you have the sign behind you, let's get hammered. I can't tell right now if it's about sharks or getting drunk.
It's definitely about sharks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
It's kind
cool.
of a saying we have since we're going
Yeah.
diving with hammerheads. We're like, all right, we're gonna
Right.
go hammer, and you say it in public around people who don't dive, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and
Like
they're
these
like,
Yeah.
guys are degenerates.
Yeah.
8 o'clock in the morning, how could they? And they get on a boat, and then two and two get put together, but most of the time people don't realize what we're
Right.
actually.
And I definitely thought drinking at first. And then as we've talked, I totally knew it was about sharks. But it's also about the mood, right? Maybe at one point of the day it's about sharks. One time it's about the drinking.
Up
Most
to
definitely.
interpretation.
Very good. How many people can you hold?
We can do up to 8 packs.
Up to 8 packs. Very cool. I wanted to ultimate fan trip with him. So we do these things called ultimate fan trips where artists bring their fans on a yacht with us and the artist plays for them. We've done probably 8 of them, but we've always done the British Virgin Islands, and anybody's fortunate enough to have a decent fan base and they come with us, right? And anyway, we haven't done the Bahamas yet, so we've been talking about it. I actually have been talking to Location about doing one, and I offered you up even though I hadn't met you. But now that we've talked to you, I really want to make it happen.
Yeah, that
If
would
we
be
did it,
super
it would be
cool.
Yeah.
probably more like a tandem. I don't know if you know the crew of Location. I don't know how if
No, we've
crew
never
hang
met
out.
the crew. We've met the owner. Actually, it's fun when were getting ready to purchase this boat and bringing it back up from St. Thomas. We met the owner in an Anchorage. Never met the crew though. They seem nice.
Both the owner and the crew are really nice. But yeah, I just was curious. I think it might be a good fit for all of it.
Yeah, sounds super cool. It sounds like it's right up our alley. We love catering
Yeah.
to different types of people, and really good at we're really good at creating that great vibe when it's 6 total
Yeah.
random strangers that have never met.
And that's what we need. And I try to do it a little different. I don't actually send out preference sheets. It's just tell me what your allergies are, and I allow you chefs to create what you're good at. And it makes it less
Love that.
stressful. Like we're not doing all of this vegan, keto. We're all liking it, but I'm not going to have one person doing it when everybody else wants to eat something different. Like it's just too complicated when you have different walks of life coming together like that.
Most
I love
It's
that.
just, and then really we would set the itinerary, you or us, whatever, and they'll just come along. So
Perfect. That sounds like a lot of fun.
We actually we know the owner and a couple of people that work with at the Staniel Key Yacht Club. Even if we were like able to do something along with them for one night, that would
yeah.
probably be awesome.
Yeah, as a venue or something for them to play. Yeah, that'd be really cool. And since they're singer-songwriter, it's a guitar and them telling stories. It's not like heavy rock or whatever. So it's like listening room vibe is like what we're going for. So
Daniel's a perfect place for something like that too. I don't know if you've ever been to the yacht club there, but it's
no, I haven't.
Oh, it's the perfect venue. It's the cool thing about Staniel Yacht Club is like that we like to say is it's one of those places where you can have literally a cruiser on a sailboat with $20 to his name and then be sitting next to Johnny Depp and no one gives a shit. Like everybody's just
Right. They're just
talking
chill.
story, hanging out.
Yeah.
every night they play Sweet Care 10 p.m.
On
If
the
it's
whole
packed,
bar
like
singing.
you can hear it in big majors like the Anchorage next door, and like
Yeah.
the walls shake. Everybody is like arm in arm, like swaying around the bar. It's
Right.
really fun. It's
That's a
just
lot
one
of
of those
fun.
spots that all the cruisers go to, all the charter boats go to. It's
Yeah.
a fun spot. The only bars, real bars in the Exumas too. So it makes it
Right.
even more special too.
It's very cool. I want to do this for him, right? For his music,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I really need to do some research for work too. Let's both do
Super
this.
fun.
There you go.
I need some content too, right? Let's just kill all the birds with a Swinstone. But I really appreciate you guys coming on. I had a good time. Are you chartering in October or are you going to take holiday during that time?
We are going to run charters all the way up until September. See where things end. We'll probably take September off. I think we might go do our honeymoon in October.
Did you just
So
get
then
married or are you getting married?
we're gonna be getting married in probably May.
Nice.
Doing untraditionally, so
Yeah.
That's
we're
all
doing
right.
a big honeymoon instead of a big wedding. So we're
Yeah.
We're going on a land honeymoon, so we're pretty excited. We've always wanted to do a safari, so we're going to be
Nice.
going Kenya and doing the Giraffe Manor and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So
that's awesome. That's very awesome. I
Yeah.
only ask because I had someone inquire today for an October 12th because they're getting married. And I'm like, ugh, really? They want to do their honeymoon because October is hurricane season for so many, right?
Yeah.
So it's really a tough time. So that's why I was asking where you would be. I was gonna, and I know some people might be moving down to other islands, but even still, that's still a toss up
Well,
whether you're gonna get.
You can send it over to Casey, and then once we get those dates, we can.
Yeah, we don't really, nothing's set in stone for our honeymoon right now. We actually
Yeah.
have to the dates. We just talked to the travel people who are setting everything up for us yesterday. So we have to actually see because a lot of things are booked out until 2025. They said they can make it happen, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. We'll keep in touch. I just wanted to see what you were doing and if you were even around to bother with it. All right. Thank you guys. I hope you have a great day.
All right, see
Bye.
you guys. Nice to meet you.
You too. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to the Songs in the Sales podcast. We thrive because of listeners and viewers like you. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave us a review. If you have comments and questions, please send us an email, yachtcharters@songsinthesales.com. Now, come sail away.